viewers, and welcome to today's discussion where we take a look into the world of politics and the upcoming presidential election. Now, a recent video has sparked controversy with a Pamkala lady asking Kamala Harris supporters if they genuinely believe she'll make a good president. Now, the question seems simple, but the reactions have been anything but, and some viewers have fired back, questioning whether the lady truly thinks Donald Trump cares about her, citing his questionable decisions like cutting off water supply to certain communities during his golf course development projects. And others have expressed reservations about Harris's potential presidency, but still believe she's the best option for Democrats, especially considering the disastrous consequences of a second Trump term. So with that said, let's get into it. What are your thoughts on Kamala Harris's potential presidency? Do you think she's the right choice for America, or do you think Donald Trump is? Share your opinions in the comments as usual, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up by tapping on the like button and subscribing to my channel, because you will find my videos interesting and intriguing. So with that said, let's take a look at the videos. I will be right back, and when I do, we talk more about this.
Dear Kamala Harris supporters, you really feel like she's going to be a good president? Like, deep down in your bones feel like she's going to be a good president? I'm really curious.
Dear supporters, do you actually believe that Donald Trump gives a shit about you when he cut off water to people in another country when he was building his golf course?
Honey, I'm someone who's quite a bit to the left of Kamala. I don't really feel that she would be the greatest president. She'd probably be what most Democrats would want as a president, but I'm not a Democrat. However, I do also think that Trump, a second term, would be disastrous, especially with all the rhetoric he's using and signs that he's in extreme cognitive decline. It's not that I want Kamala as a president. It's that I really don't want that orange face to be president. Why is that so hard for you to understand? Duh.
It's Kamala, and she's going to be great. And she's even going to work for you. And you're dumb, okay? There, I said it. She's even going to work for you. And if you support Trump, then you've already told me how you are. Thanks.
Correct. We think she will be a far better representation of the United States than the alternative. If for no other reason, she doesn't snuggle up to dictators, and she has a command of the English language that he does not have. She went on Fox News and literally demonstrated what a lawyer can do when confronted with misinformation in real time. She also is talking about policy. The last time your guy had a town hall, he played his Spotify playlist for 30 minutes and said nobody wanted to hear about policy. So, yeah, we think that, or we wouldn't be voting for her.
You know, I can't take you guys seriously, because right off the bat, right out of the gate, you had to show up with racism and misogynoir by not pronouncing the vice president's name correctly. It's Kamala. It's Kamala. And secondly, yes, she is the right person for this job. She's extremely qualified and ready to take it on. Those of us who support her are very confident that she will do a good job. And she's human. Don't forget, she's human, and she's bound to make mistakes, because we all do. But she will be a president for everyone. She will stand up for your rights and everyone's rights. Point blank period, Samantha. We don't want to go back. We do not want to go back. We are now banding together to smash the patriarchy and kick it right in the... Now, you asked, and I answered.
No, I do not. I do not think that Kamala Harris is going to be a good president. I never heard of that person. I do believe that Kamala Harris is going to be a great president. That I do believe, which is why she got my vote. I didn't see this Kamala, I don't even know how you guys say the name. I didn't see that person on the ballot. So I don't understand why you MAGAs continue to ask about this person that's not on the ballot. I just don't get it. When you learn who's on the ballot and you say it correctly, then we will answer your questions. Until then, you're asking the wrong question because you're saying the wrong name. Kamala. Get used to it because you're going to be saying it for the next 8 years.
Wait, hold him up. Aren't you the same last month said, just because we support Trump doesn't mean that we're racist, only to turn around this month and pull a racist move and purposely mispronounce her name while trying to gaslight us into thinking that somehow our judgment about our presidential candidate is off when you can't even be self-aware enough to at least pretend to not be racist while you're sitting here trying to convince the rest of us that you're not racist while supporting a racist criminal candidate with like you're what? Okay, wait, let me answer your question real quick. Yes, I do think that she is the best candidate because she's not only fighting for the rights of folks like me, but for the rights of folks like you who apparently need a little rundown in how you would actually be affected by another Trump presidency. But more than anything, she's still fighting for the safety and rights of people like you who don't give a damn about themselves or even about basic decency towards another person, which is wildly embarrassing because you were just here last month saying that we need to treat y'all better because you're not racist. Oh, you bought that audacity in bulk this month, didn't you? You got the extra strength. I bet you did. Do you have to refrigerate that? You are wild. You should probably put your phone down, sis. Go make some soup or something. It's fall. Get something pumpkin.
Kamala. I know it's difficult for you all because of your level of education. But if you say it slowly with me, we can get this. It's Kamala. Kamala. That's how you say it. I know it's difficult for you, Simone, but it's Kamala. Is it okay if I call you? Oh, you don't like it when I mispronounce your name? Huh? That's weird. Anyway, yeah, she knows all three branches of the government. She's worked in all three branches of the government. He's a 34-time felon who grapes children and women and grabs them by the... So, yeah, it's not hard. Also, he's a KKK member.
From Petty News, we're live, local, and shame making. You pastry demons just keep popping up, and I don't like it. First of all, my butter biscuit from hell, it's Kamala. Say that shit correct. Second, it's gotta be better than what's going through when it came to the president who put us in pandemic most of the time. It's definitely a fun better than us having to pay more taxes when we barely make enough money to survive while the rich get bigger and bigger cuts. And there's billionaires and millionaires talking about it. Think about that. It's a hell of a lot better than the Proud Boys feeling like it's safe to run rampant on our streets again. It's definitely safer to have Kamala as a president than to have my daughter and my wife and my family and friends that are female went through because of some Trump support. So at the end of the day, yes, you goofy, powdered pigeon. We don't what you think. Hold these McNuggets. And if you need something to dip it in, you dip water.
Now, the 2024 presidential campaign has changed dramatically since Kamala Harris replaced Joe Biden as the Democratic Party's nominee. And what has not changed is the vast differences in political values between voters who support Harris and those who back Republican nominee Donald Trump. Some of the widest gaps between Harris and Trump supporters are on issues that have divided Americans for decades, such as the role of pew-pews in society, race, and the legacy of slavery. In addition, voters who back Harris and Trump have sharply different views on immigration, gender identity, and whether society should prioritize marriage and having children. Now, for decades, Republicans have mostly expressed a preference preference for smaller government, while most Democrats favor a larger government that provides more services. Now, this remains the case even today, with Trump supporters over 3 times more likely than Harris supporters to favor smaller government. Now, other attitudes about government, including its role in providing healthcare coverage, show similar patterns. However, large majorities of both candidates' supporters oppose any reductions in Social Security benefits. Now, supporters of Harris and Trump also have fundamental differences on America's place in the world. Harris supporters are more likely than Trump supporters to say the United States should take into account the interests of its allies, and that is at least very important for the US to have an active role in world affairs. Now, Trump supporters are more likely to support policies aimed at maintaining America's role as the world's lone military superpower. Now, voters have differing expectations for whether things will improve or get worse for various groups in society if Vice President Kamala Harris or former President Donald Trump holds the White House. Now, they are more likely to say that Harris's policies would make things better for women, union members, Black people, Hispanic people, and poor people than to say this of Trump's policies. By comparison, voters are more likely to predict that Trump's policies would make things better for wealthy people, palm-color people, men, and military veterans. Now, one of the largest advantages for Harris is over how voters think women would fare in each potential administration. 49% of registered voters say Harris' policies would make things better for women, while 27% say her policies would make things worse. Now, voters say the reverse about Trump's policies. 30% say his policies would make things better for women, and 46% say they would make things worse. Now, for both candidates, about a quarter of voters, 23% each, say that things would not change much for women either way. Now, the Pew Research Center survey conducted August 26 September to among 9,720 members of the center's American Trends panel, including 8,044 registered voters, finds that there are even bigger differences in views of which candidate would make things better for wealthy people, with more saying this group would benefit from a Trump administration than a Harris one. Now, 67% of voters say Trump's policies would make things better for wealthy people. Far fewer, 19%, say this about Harris' policies. Now, just 5% of voters say that Trump's policies would make things worse for wealthy Americans, while 28% say his policies would not make much difference for them. Now, nearly half of voters, 46%, say Harris wouldn't change things much for wealthy people, while about a third, 34%, say her policies would make things worse for this group. Now, supporters of Harris and Trump tend to say that their candidates' policies would make things better for most groups, and the other candidates' policies would make things worse for most groups. Yet there are differences in the extent to which supporters say the candidates' policies would make things better or worse for different groups. But here's the thing, we need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What are the core values that drive Kamala Harris's campaign? Is it unity, inclusivity, and progress? Or is it something else entirely? On the other hand, what does Donald Trump represent? And is that aligning with what Americans truly want? Now, supporters of Kamala Harris see her as a beacon of hope, someone who can bring people together and restore dignity to the White House. They point to her focus on building relationships and her commitment to listening to those who disagree with her. For many, her message of unity and optimism is a refreshing change from divisive rhetoric that's dominated politics for far too long. However, critics of Kamala Harris argue that her policies might not be enough to address the complex issues facing America. Now, some question whether she has the experience and leadership skills necessary to drive meaningful change. So, what do you think? Do you believe Harris has what it takes to be a good president? Or do you think Donald Trump is the better choice? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.